Hello everyone, welcome to our final video of our Aging Well Falls course. We all really hope that you've enjoyed the course and learned a lot. Early on in the course we considered whether falls are a normal part of ageing, and I was pleased to see that many of you felt that falls are not inevitable. They occur at all ages and that society needs to change its views on falls. In week 2 we discussed falls risk factors and saw that there are over 400. This figure surprised many of you, but remember that we tend to focus on the ones that we can improve. We discussed wearing bi- and varifocal lenses as a risk factor. This was controversial for some who had been using them for years, but the biggest risk will be for people who are new to wearing multifocal lenses. If you haven't already, you can read our blog, which explains more details about varifocal lenses and their link with falls. In week 3, we showed you a video of how to stand up after having a fall. Some people felt that the technique demonstrated wouldn't be appropriate for them, perhaps because of knee or hip problems. What we would suggest is contacting your physiotherapist or an occupational therapist to ask them to devise a technique that might be useful for you specifically. And don't forget to keep a mobile phone on you if you struggle to stand up after a fall. Many of you found it useful to see the types of tests performed in a falls clinic. Access to these services are very much dependent on where you are in the world. In the UK, everybody should have access to a falls clinic. But if you don't have access to a falls clinic where you are, there are simple things that you can do to get a falls assessment, even if it's not all in one place. You can visit your doctor to have your medical problems or dizziness reviewed. You could see a pharmacist who could review your medications. You could access a physiotherapist, and you could see an occupational therapist. These are the core members of a team that could help you with your falls prevention. Exercise has been a hugely popular topic over the course, with many of you enjoying the wonderful and inspirational interview with Dot. This reinforced the importance of having a positive attitude and how enjoyable attending an exercise class can be. We've discussed how exercise can help prevent falls, but we've also found that exercise is very important for healthy ageing as well. How you access exercise may vary depending on where you are. So for some people it might be more convenient to exercise at home, and that might mean a physiotherapist coming into your house to give you exercises to do. For people who go out, you might be able to find an exercise class more like Dot's, whether it's a specific class for preventing falls or a more general exercise class. There may be services that you can find in your local clinic or GP surgery giving advice on where you can find exercises, but there are also other resources such as local village halls and evening classes. Another question, which is quite difficult to answer, is how do we persuade our friends and family to recognise that they're falling and that they need help? It's not easy, but one thing we do know that works is using positive language rather than negative. So, for example, if you're trying to persuade someone to accept an occupational therapist visiting them in their home, we would recommend using language such as, "An occupational therapist can help you to stay independent," rather than saying, "An occupational therapist can prevent you from falling." It seems that some people respond a bit better to positive language. So we've reached the end of Aging Well Falls. We hope you've learned a lot and that you'll be able to pass on many of the messages to your friends and relatives. Let's all make a positive difference and let's all age well. Thank you very much and goodbye.